Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
I'm a little too excited for this one.
Why? Oh, the chip chipperoo. Okay.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta chip chipperoo.
Are you saying that to me?
Sure.
Okay, I accept it. We did get an email from...
The Spice Girls?
No.
Oh, okay.
They just have one collective email now.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if the Spice Girls emailed us? Wow. No, not so like whoever emailed us, you were fantastic too, but the Spice Girls, come on.
Yes. Erica is a Chip Chipperoo fan.
Oh, I love hearing pro Chip Chipperoo people. I don't like hearing the other ones. But
I'm Swiss. I
think the Spice Girls would be pro Chip Chipperoo.
I doubt it.
There's been a little people think it's Chip Chip-aroo, but I've been saying Chip Chip-eroo.
Well, you're the creator of it, but to be fair, 100% of people who write it out
say aroo.
Yeah, so...
But I've always, in my head, it's always been eroo.
Well, maybe you're wrong, Max.
I might be wrong, but I'm sticking with it. Who was that person who emailed us?
Erica.
Oh.
Which I've said
Erica.
twice now.
Oh. This is great.
This is
and which
going so
Spice
well.
Girl is she?
Which Spice?
Which Spice Girls is she?
She's not Victoria Beckham.
Wow. The Spice Girls is going to be our it's been of this week, I think.
Yep.
First things first, we have 2 new patrons on Patreon to thank and burger upon their names.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
First up, thank you so much, Hakeem Morris.
Thank you, Hakeem. You have just your interactions on Instagram and stuff. We are so grateful for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hakeem, moving forward, you will be known as the cream cheese stuffed burger.
Okay.
It's a burger stuffed with cream cheese.
I feel like that'd be really good. I just have a aversion to cream cheese.
Skylar does have a thing about cream cheese, but I just want to say that this isn't like Philadelphia cream cheese.
Oh,
I'm
it's
sorry
kinda
if you
like
like
creme
that stuff, but that stuff
fraiche.
is like, yeah, it's like
Ooh.
fresh, like whipped, fancy cream cheese, okay?
That sounds delicious.
Only the best for Hakeem. Next, we have to thank Sasha.
Thank you, Sasha.
Sasha, moving forward, you will have to introduce yourself to I forgot to tell you that if you become a Patreon subscriber and you get a burger pun name, you have to introduce yourself from now on as this name that I give you.
Out in the real world.
You got to put it on like your license and everything too. So it's a whole process. Let me know if you have questions about how to get your name legally changed. But Sasha, moving forward, you'll be known as the Saw-Shucked Oyster Burger.
Ooh, some fried oysters.
Mm-hmm. We're getting fancy.
Wow.
We're getting fancy. Anyway, thank you so much to the 2 of you. It means the world to us. We love getting more people to join our little Bob's Burgers community on Patreon over at, we call it Secret Menu, and having people join us in Discord where we're having all sorts of Bob's Burgers related chats and even non-Bob's Burgers related stuff we're enjoying chatting with everyone about.
It's just delightful over there. Come check us out.
It's only $5 to subscribe. You get a bunch of bonus episodes as well. You get discount on merchandise. You get early access to merchandise. You get to support this podcast. That is the most important thing. Skylar and I work very hard on this podcast, and we do it because we love it, but it also helps keep us going. This is a way to support us and also get something for yourself in return.
Absolutely. That's patreon.com/Bob's Credits.
What would I do without you? Time to get into this.
Okay. Why don't
Me
we
too.
just hop to Max Pun or Bob Pun, and then I'll tell you my Bob's update.
Oh, yeah. Let's leave people hanging. Okay. It is time for Bob Pun or Max Pun. Skylar, are you ready for your first pun?
I'm ready.
The Crowded House Burger. Crowded House Burger.
Like sauerkraut?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, can
That's
you hear
a
that
lovely bird.
I hope I hate this when people on podcasts say like, "Oh, can you hear that in the background?"
And you
can
can't.
never hear it, so I'm sure people can't hear that. But there's a lovely bird, chirp chirparooing out there. You like that?
I think they can hear it.
Let's just
Of course
not
he
talk
stopped.
on our podcast.
Max.
Bob, your next pun is. Please tell me you can hear that.
I mean, that's a beautiful song.
Your next pun is peppercorn to be wild burger.
This is so good. Like, I feel like the song would definitely be in the Bob's universe, but I feel like it's so good that it's you. So I'm 50-50 right now.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Max.
Yes.
Yes.
Your next pun is the Poblano Picasso burger.
Max.
Bob.
Damn it. You tried to trick me because we were cooking with poblanos this week.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Oh.
And I like how you say we're cooking with poblanos. I appreciate that. And your final pun is the cilantro mama from the train burger.
Oh, I don't get it.
There's a movie called Throw Mama from the Train with Billy Crystal and Danny DeVito,
Oh, God.
based on the Hitchcock Strangers on a Train.
So it's a pun. This is a pun of a pun.
Kind of.
Max?
Yes.
Okay.
You only got two wrong?
Yeah,
One wrong?
one wrong.
Okay.
Two.
I can never keep up with it. And I'm sure people are like,
if you're
home.
listening, you're like,
yeah, like,
duh.
come on. You didn't say that many. We can
Yeah.
keep track. Okay. Those are the puns. What do you have to announce here before we get into the episode?
Okay. Not to beat a dead horse. Sorry, Tina. But we have had some fans, some listeners, some followers do a little detective work for us. And we can finally close the case on what time does the restaurant close.
Really? Share.
A few weeks ago, we had a listener tell us they found the episode that says Bob closes. Bob says we close at 7, and that like confused us. We were like, "What?" So Dash DM'd us, and he said, "I think first of all, he is from New Jersey, so he was really thinking about the times." That restaurants close and stuff. And he said, I think where we're going wrong is we're assuming that the restaurant closes at the same time every night. So we can assume that the restaurant maybe opens at 11, closes at 7 on weeknights, and then on weekends or Friday through Saturday, it stays open till 9. So that's where we were going wrong. And then Elliot DM'd us. It's so funny that these two people DM'd us like within 2 days of each other telling us
was
this.
E.T. with him?
I don't know.
I'm such an idiot.
Phone home.
Okay, yes.
And he's also from New Jersey and is very familiar with like kind of beach towns, the slower, like sleepier, exactly what Bob's Burgers world is. And they were saying that since there's like a lot of businesses around, it's not like necessarily family or like, you know, a hop-in cosmopolitan city, that a lot close at like 8 p.m. And he also mentioned that because it's a coastal situation that they would also have off season. So in winter, of course, they're going to be closing at like 7. So once again, that just circles back. I think it closes at 7 on weekdays, and I think it's open later during beach time or summertime and weekends. Elliot also mentioned that when Linda is preparing dinner, that they have shown the Pesto's restaurant still open. So she probably heads up to feed the kids dinner, all that stuff. So that is a wrap.
Great detective work. I also want to add one thing to that to continue that maybe that they don't necessarily have set hours in that, you know, we know that Bob's isn't a thriving business, a thriving restaurant. So maybe there are times where like they close a little bit early because they're not getting any business. They know they're not getting any business, you know? And
yeah.
So they might, yeah.
And we all discussed like lunch might be their busiest time because there's businesses everywhere. So we stand corrected and case closed, and we don't have to talk about this anymore.
I just want to say I love how serious we've taken this and how serious our listeners have taken this.
But genuinely.
And yes, like it's a cartoon show and they can do whatever the hell they want.
Right,
but
right.
I love to analyze this stuff. And I love to play detective on it. And I do think that the Bob's writers and creators do pay attention to a lot of like details. And
you have to.
Like, again, it's a cartoon. They can get away with anything they want to do without any explanation whatsoever. But I think they do a good job.
An
amazing and they don't have
job.
to. So
when Max's aunt was in town, she's like a New Yorker, and she wanted to listen to our podcast. And so I turned to Max. I can't remember what I said, and I said, "It doesn't make sense that X, Y, and Z would happen." And from the back seat, she goes, "It's a cartoon." I was like, yes, you are right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So we do have an update on the taco mystery, but I'm wondering if we should save that for later. Let's jump into this episode.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, in a different episode, but also like you can see it. It's on our Instagram. It's on our Instagram. Go follow us there at Bob's Credits. It's in our newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you're missing out because we're having a lot of fun with it.
Yep, that's in our link in bio on our Instagram if you want to sign up, as well as our Patreon. But with the taco thing, if this is your first episode of Bob's Credits, we discovered that the kids and the whole Wagstaff school eats their tacos like hamburgers.
Yeah, they hold it on the bottom and they eat it from the top down.
Yes, and there was this whole discussion on our Instagram about why. And, I don't have her name right now, but one of our detectives, I'm going to call our listeners detectives, literally found the exact reason why. And it blew my mind. We'll talk about it next week or hop onto our Instagram to look at it right now.
And
with that,
I think we should get in the episode. What do you think?
I think so.
I can't believe we haven't even talked about this, by the way. It's season 6. This is our first episode of season 6.
Well,
we just jumped into this thing. We didn't say anything about we are moving forward. We're jumping in kind of like to the second half of Bob's Burgers because season 12 is currently on.
It's going too fast.
Yeah. That's exciting.
That is.
I don't want to go on
exciting.
too much about it because we've already talked everyone's ear off and they're like, just start the freaking episode. But here we go. Let's get into season 6, Skylar. Can we have the title and synopsis for season 6, episode 1, please?
The title for the season 6 premiere episode is Sliding Bobs. When Bob's mustache starts falling out, Linda tells the story of how his stash is what brought them together. Linda's engagement ring got caught in his facial hair as she demonstrated how to throw a shrimp, naturally. Of course, this gets the kids hypothesizing on what would have happened if Bob never had a mustache. Jean predicts Bob would be recruited as a RoboCop with a mechanic mustache. Louise believes he asked the Swami at the wharf to grant him a mustache, which turns him into a hair monster. And Tina, sweet Tina, realizes her mom would marry Hugo, and they'd be very different and very blonde kids.
This episode came out on September 27th, 2015. It was written by Greg Thompson and directed by Don McKinnon.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so there was obviously a gap from season 5 to season 6. I think season 5 ended in spring, and then season 6 premiered in the fall. That's what we're looking at here in 2015. We're catching up.
I can't. My little heart, it can't process it. I want this podcast to go on forever.
What if we talk really slowly?
I think that would help.
Okay.
I think that would help.
Thoughts on this episode, kicking off the season? What do you think? I feel like we came off season 5 pretty strong.
Very strong. They do a good season finale for sure. I really, really liked this episode. I love them, sitting in the living room as a family. Our story episodes where we break off into each child's vision, are they my favorite episodes? No. That being said, I loved the episode. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I've said this before with those 3-story episodes where in other shows it's typically not my favorite. But yeah, I really I think they are so good at nailing the kids' tones and exactly who these kids are and the kind of stories they would tell. And it's so fun to watch them tell their versions of stories.
Yes. But I do have to say, I think my favorite parts of the episode happen in air quotes real life.
Okay.
I have to talk about the opening of this episode because to me, it's quintessential Bob's. Bob Belcher is sitting on this trash bicycle machine. By trash, I mean it looks like trash, and he found it in the alley.
Yeah, it's like an exercise bike from the 80s.
Yes. And Gene is behind him, whipping him with a sock as if he's like a husky. And Tina is holding a water bottle in front of him. It was just hysterical to me.
Yeah. I love that it's Bob exercising on a stationary bike is a family event.
Exactly. Truly amazing.
I mean, part of that has to do with there's no other space to do it other than the living room in their place, but
which we understand.
We understand. Yeah, we understand. This the studio / office we are recording in also serves as my home gym. So,
and our living room serves as my yoga studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I had so much biscuit hair on me. I flipped my shit the last time I did yoga. It did not calm me down. It was like, someone needs to vacuum. And then the other favorite part of this episode, I love sweet Tina sitting on that sofa being like, no, fate brought you guys together. You guys were meant to be together. I love it so much because I was like that as a child. Like, I didn't want to believe that my mom could be with any other person. I didn't want to believe that breakups happened. I just like totally had to shut that off in my brain because it overwhelmed me too much. So I really enjoyed Tina's heart in this episode.
Oh, she's so sweet and pure. She really is. So the title, Sliding Bobs.
Yeah.
Why is it called Sliding Bobs? You asked me about that off mic.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised you didn't know because it is a parody of a romantic comedy from the 90s starring Gwyneth Paltrow.
You didn't tell me it was a romantic comedy.
We might have to watch it. I've never seen it.
Okay.
It's called Sliding Doors. I remember just like the commercials and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's the film alternates between two storylines showing two paths the two main characters would take depending on whether Gwyneth Paltrow catches the train or not. So that's where...
Oh, I get it now.
Uh-huh.
That's what this whole episode is about.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I am so into that idea for a rom-com. Like, can we watch it?
Yeah, I'm so down to watch it. What else about this episode?
We do need to talk about this. Mm-hmm. This is an iconic episode because we see how Linda and Bob meet.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Ginger.
We do. This is the first time we see Ginger. We've heard so much about her.
Only the back of her head.
Yeah, she doesn't turn to the side at all? Is it just... Okay.
So we're still
a mystery.
It's still a mystery.
But
you know, she could turn around.
But we know that it's not like a fake friend.
Right. An imaginary friend.
Well, it could be. Bob doesn't interact with Ginger. So maybe Linda's there talking to herself.
That's true. You know, she could have turned around and stared right into the camera and had the exact face of Jimmy Jr. And that would be a fan theory I've heard, that Ginger is Jimmy Jr.'s ex-wife.
Jimmy Pesto, not Jimmy Jr. Yes. I was so confused.
Yes, I am
I was so
sorry.
confused. You mean Jimmy Pesto. Ginger is Jimmy Pesto's ex-wife. Yes.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And then she could take over the restaurant.
Yeah. We should do that theory over on Patreon.
Yeah.
Some fun facts for the episode, or do you...
I just want to... One thing and one question.
Go ahead.
One, there's a lot of shrimp on this show.
There is. They love shrimp.
And I love that.
I love shrimp.
Well, I love shrimp, but like I love that they love shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
And that they put shrimp in it a lot.
I feel like I've said this to you before, but I could win like a shrimp eating contest.
I know.
You've seen me.
I know. You make me get like this huge pound of shrimp so you can eat it while I cook dinner.
Yeah, if we're getting seafood any night, I always have to have like shrimp as an appetizer, and I
talking about food being a way to connect. My mom was in town when we got some shrimp, and she taught Max how to make like our family recipe cocktail sauce. And that was just like such a joyous moment for me.
And now I make it every time.
Max thinks he is like the king of the cocktail sauce. He's like, gets his little station set up, and he's like, oh, I need my Tabasco and my lemon. And like, I put all the ingredients out for him to make it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm presenting it on like Top Chef. But thank you, Julie, for teaching me. It's my favorite thing to do.
Oh,
I feel like a little chef. I'm like
sweet.
Ratatouille. I'm like Remy.
That's exactly what you're like. Okay, one more favorite part of the episode. Sorry, I lied. My favorite funny moment, and once again, quintessential Bob's. The writing is funnier than any other freaking cartoon. When Bob sees that hair is falling out in the shower, he thinks it's his bald spot. So the kids and Linda are helping him to see if his bald spot is getting any bigger. And Tina holds the cap of a mayonnaise jar and measures it as if they have measured it like this 1,000,000 times before, and you know they have. Like, yeah, Dad's bald spot is the size of a mayonnaise cap.
Yeah, it's staying the same. Yeah, you haven't lost any. Yeah.
Hysterical. I've been talking a lot. I do want to know just like your overall feelings about the episode.
I love it. I think what I love about it is that after a big season break, we get to go just spend time with the family, the Belchers. They're storytelling. They're sitting in their living room. You're in the comfort of the Belcher family, and the stories are funny. Like the story, it's so fun to watch them tell them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when there's these stories, I'm always surprised at how much they cram into a 22-minute episode.
Insane.
Like by the time the first story was done, I was like, wow, we still have 2 other stories to fit in here. How is that even possible? That's incredible that they're able to do that.
Can you imagine how much like editing, because they are full arc stories.
Totally.
You know, like there's an introduction and then a crisis and then a climax and then a denouement. Like,
let's dive into the stories a little bit.
Okay.
That's what some of my fun facts are. So RoboStash is obviously a parody of RoboCop. Mm-hmm. Louise's story is like a parody of Big, where he goes to the fortune teller and he ends up growing too much hair on his body and is like a werewolf. And Jean's story is...
No, Jean was RoboCop.
Oh, Jean was RoboCop. So Tina's story, I don't think it's a parody of anything in particular.
Sliding Doors, maybe?
Yeah,
itself?
maybe hers is. Yeah. Tina's story is the big one where we see that Linda goes on to marry Hugo, and Bob is the health inspector instead of Hugo now. Hugo has a hot dog stand, or has a hot dog restaurant instead of a hamburger stand. So this is something I got off Fandom.
Okay.
So I don't know how accurate it is, but if it is accurate, I'm going to try and get some side-by-sides for all of you listening to look on Instagram. When Hugo says big day today at the very beginning of kind of like his sequence in
opening up the restaurant.
Yeah. Some of the extras in the background are the same extras that are seen in the original scene of Human Flesh, the first episode. So I want to see if we can pick out those extras. I'll try and get a side by side to see how accurate that is. If it's not up there for you, I was wrong. So
I like that system.
Yeah.
That is so fun. I also have to mention, we see Flashback Teddy all throughout this.
We do.
So he's fixing the like Swami big machine.
Yeah.
Where else is he in this?
He's working outside the restaurant at one point. Yeah, he's got his big luscious blonde hair.
Because remember, the first time we saw Teddy in a flashback was in the Mechanical Shark episode, and he was an extra in that movie, and he was like a little hottie toddy beach boy. Love Teddy.
I love Teddy with his long luscious hair. I think we should get into the end credits, but before we do that, in this parallel universe, we have Hugo's hot dogs. Yeah,
made from hot dogs.
Yeah, like
wiener dogs.
Yeah, Dachshunds.
Oh my god, Dachshunds.
Dachshunds. That's how Skylar pronounced it to me once.
And 50 million.
Yeah, look at that cute Dachshund.
They were 2 different types of dogs because my dyslexic brain saw dachshund and I was like, oh, that's pronounced Dushan. So I was going around telling my mom, we're going to get a long-haired Dushan. And she was like, oh, okay.
Skylar and I love like long-haired dachshunds.
Yeah.
So do you remember what Hugo's hot dog of the day was?
No. My eyes glanced at the board because I wanted to see if he did puns.
He did A View to Kilbasa. So because we have Hugo's hot dogs, I figured I would do a few puns, max puns for Hugo's hot dogs. Would you like to hear what I came up with?
Oh, it's not a game. I just get to listen.
No, because he only has one.
Okay.
So I couldn't do max pun or Hugo pun because it wouldn't work. These are just ones that I came up with. If we were doing hot dogs every week. It was the best of times. It was the brought worst of times.
A+, triple stars.
This one is for you.
Oh.
Stay sausage. Hot dog.
No. Thank you. And I said, oh.
Oh, because if you aren't staying to the end of the episode and listening to Skylar's sign-offs, they're just as fun as the Chip Chipperoo. So stay saucy is her sign-off. You should be listening to the end of every episode. By
the way, sorry to interrupt, but in this latest episode of Bob's, which was, my brain's not working. Oh, Gene, Locker Love.
Oh, yes, with Courtney making the music video at school.
Gene says something about saucy. I think I predicted that line 2 years ago when I created my sign-off, Stay Saucy.
You do, or the writers are listening to this and they're just stealing all of our stuff.
Probably.
We're going to see all of season 13 is going to be max puns on the board.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's my dream.
Yeah.
Steal them, please. Okay, I got a couple more of these Hugo hot dogs for you. It's raining cats and hot dogs.
Love it.
There will be blood sausage.
Amazing.
Salami, myself, and I.
Great.
Now, because Disney now owns Bob's, this is for them. Huey and Dewey and Louie.
Oh, very good.
And my final one is chorizo far, so good.
I mean, honestly, not only have you created amazing puns, but you have elevated the food already. I've never had a chorizo hot dog.
I try. I feel like I could be a better hot dog purveyor than Hugo.
I think you could do anything better than Hugo.
Oh, thank you.
That's how strongly I feel about Hugo.
Should we get into these end credits?
Let's do it.
Okay. So there's a final moment. The final moment isn't with the family, believe it or not.
That was one of my fun facts. I think this might be the first episode where the last scene isn't related to the Belcher family.
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I think we've had it before.
1 of 5.
Yeah, it's not common.
Yeah.
I am going to play just Bob's last line because I think it's classic Bob. And then we're going to be in the car with Hugo and Ron, who have kind of like the kicker before we get into the end credits.
Amazing.
Oh my God, I'm moving out. Hugo, did you ever feel we were meant to be together?
Not this again, Ron!
It's called fate, and it's great. That's an easy way to remember it.
You have something to say, I can tell.
Hilarious kicker.
Hilarious kicker. Poor Ron. He just wants to connect with someone. He's partnered with the worst human being on the planet.
Yeah, and I love that we can deduce that he asks this a lot.
Yeah. Maybe because he likes to think that in a different universe, he is not stuck with Hugo.
Yeah.
Although in another universe, we see he's stuck with Bob, and Bob is not great as a health inspector either.
Puns.
Yeah. Okay, what happens when we go to the end credits? What are we looking at here?
We immediately hear this fun music with the kids, and it is the air quotes normal kitchen scene. We have regular Tina and Louise and Bob prepping, and then we have Princess blonde version from Tina's story, twirling around in her very, very pink princess outfit.
I don't know why I can't remember her name. Do you remember what her name was?
Let me see if I have it here. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember the kids' names, but they all had similar names, but not, I think it was Dean, maybe, instead of Jean, and they're all blonde.
Very unsettling, by the way.
Yeah. What's in the window here? What is this plant?
I was going to ask you.
Did I miss something?
And then I was going to give it over to our fans.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
So in the service window where Bob and Louise typically put the burger for Linda to grab, there's like a little plant. Did we miss a line or something?
Alternate universe plant.
Mm-hmm.
So does Hugo like plants, or is it not a callback to the episode and we're just assuming that Hugo would have a plant there?
I'm assuming we missed a line or something.
Yeah.
That it's a reference to. And we're idiots.
Is it a
and
cactus?
It looks like a cactus to me, or it looks like a pickle.
Does look like a pickle. I don't want to knock femininity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I think it's a very powerful, wonderful feeling. This version
Is this going
of
back
Louise
to the Spice Girls?
makes like my teeth rot. It is just like too sweet. It just is so wrong. And as Louise says herself to Tina, that is so dark.
Too much for Louise.
It's too much. The flowing pink chiffon off her like princess hat, it's just a lot. Not knocking anyone who loves princesses or whatever.
It kind of is like all the characters in the first episode of season 12.
Yes, they go on that princess fairy hunt.
Yeah, that's what these are what all of the girls look like in that.
Yeah.
Or the characters. Yeah.
And Tina, Louise has such a great line. She's kind of like, is it okay that I don't like this stuff?
Yeah.
I
It's
loved
so
it
fine
so
if you don't like it.
much.
It's so fine if you do like it.
It's
I
all
just
good.
want you to know, kids.
It's all good.
Yeah. Let's see what else is happening in here.
It's called fate, and it's great. That's an easy way to remember it.
No. Shave that face. Belcher kids are erased.
So you can hear the lines that the kids are saying, and I think they're just taking lines from the episode and creating into a song. This
Yeah.
isn't like an original song.
This was in like, I think the opening scene, they all kind of like said something that rhymed,
Mm-hmm.
or like Tina said it's called fate and it's great. So that the other kids said stuff that rhymed too.
Mm-hmm.
And Louise said, shave dad's face. The Belcher kids are erased. And Jean said, if dad's lip has no hair, we never come out of there.
Yep.
So they took these little rhymes and made the song out of it with like the little ooh-oohs in the background.
Tell us what we missed visually.
So this universe, the primary universe Belchers, are just doing their normal stuff in the kitchen. Bob is prepping burgers, or is flipping burgers. Louise and Tina are prepping them. Linda's going to make an appearance in the window to get the burger. But on the other side of the service window with Linda, we see blonde Tina.
It
Maybe
gives
that
me a
that one
headache.
was Dina. I don't know. Walks by from the right side to the left side with her different color barrette.
Her hair is it's like highlighter blonde. I'm so glad there's not too many blonde characters in this world, because they use like highlighter yellow and it really hurts my eyes.
It's super blonde.
Yeah.
Are we in a Bob's Burgers multiverse here? Are we?
I think
are we
so.
Spider-Man?
I think so.
No Way Homing.
But nobody is acknowledging them yet.
True.
Let's keep watching.
Okay.
If Dad's lip has no hair, we never come out of there.
It's called fate, and it's great. That's an easy way to remember it.
Okay, tell me what you did all at.
All right, so we just see. Oh, I see what they did there. Silly Skylar. So we see this twirling princess hat peeking over the counter, because remember, Louise is the shortest.
Yeah.
So it's alternate universe, Louise spinning. But I see what they did there. Both characters have a pink object extending from their head. So the princess hat is an homage
To the bunny ears.
To
Yes,
the bunny ears.
absolutely.
And then we get Bob,
Health Inspector Bob.
Health Inspector
No
Bob,
mustache.
no mustache, with his clipboard, walking from the entrance of the restaurant to the back.
He kind of like glances at the
I
spinning,
think Bob's
the
cute
spinning
without
princess.
his mustache. I'm into it.
Look, Bob is not Bob without his mustache, but when they showed Bob without his mustache when he was younger too, I was like, that guy's a hunk.
He looks a little fresh face, like maybe he doesn't have 3 children. But we also hear Linda's, is it Tom Selleck? Who does she like?
She loves Tom Selleck, yes.
In this flashback from this episode, she mentions her affinity for Tom Selleck. So once again, continuity.
There was
Right
a
on
big
point.
period where Tom Selleck actually did shave his mustache for a while, and everyone was like, no. No. I think he's poor Tom Selleck. Like, he started out as a mustache man and he made the mustache sexy. And then like the minute he was like, I don't, people were like, nope. And so he grew it back.
Oh my gosh.
I assume he still has it now.
People
I haven't
are the
seen Tom
worst.
Selleck lately, but
Well, I'm into this, Bob.
you like no mustache Bob.
Yeah.
Is that because I can barely grow facial hair?
But maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
Hate is real. It's just really random. It makes perfect sense. I feel so much better.
That's my favorite moment from the credits.
Tell me what happens.
Okay, so obviously we know that alternate universe Gene is probably next. So hot dog Gene is crossing left to right, and Gene is
on the other side of the service window.
Yes, and then Gene is coming across.
Where he usually does.
Thank you. And they meet in the center of the screen and do not notice each other. And that choreography is like with the burger and hot dog costume. It really made me very happy.
Mm-hmm. And what Tina says at the end, she says, call it fate or destiny or something like that.
She says it really fast because at the end of the episode, she's trying to wrap her head around this like really complex idea. Like maybe fate isn't a thing, and like maybe I have soulmates all over the world that I'll never meet, or, And so when she kind of gets her answer, she's like, okay, that's it. That's fate. Great. Accidental fate. I get it.
It's great. And it's great. Yes, those are the end credits to Sliding Bobs. Highlights are I love the alternate universe characters just wandering around.
Not being noticed.
Yeah, I would love to see more alternate universe Bobs, if that makes sense. Like, I think it's fun to see them, like, if things were different.
Yeah, that could even be a movie.
Totally. Maybe the sequel to the Bob's Burgers movie, if that's not what they're doing in the actual Bob's Burgers movie. We don't know. But I would love to see another episode that focuses somehow, for some reason, on an alternate universe where something changes. Not too extensive.
Yeah, like nothing that hurts your brain.
Yeah, because sometimes parallel universe time travel breaks my brain.
Yeah, same.
And it's frustrating. I want like simple like this.
I want them to like spell it out like I'm a kindergartner.
Yeah. I love the song that they created out of just using lyrics from I think it's a great catchy tune. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love the Gene in his hot dog costume walking by at the same time as Gene in his burger.
Yeah. We've been seeing some really good credits that light up my world. This doesn't light me up like those. It's more fun just to kind of watch in a subtle way.
I hear you. Should we score them?
Yeah.
We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's I am going to give these a 9 H's. I love being back in the kitchen after a long break, I guess, between seasons.
That's true.
The odor games were so good, but it was out of the kitchen, and now we're back showing how things are. And just like the chaos happening around everyone with all these alternate versions. Yes. I enjoy it. Like I'm very entertained, and it's funny to see these alternate versions of these characters.
And, I feel like we're missing the cactus thing, so that could totally punch it up.
Yeah.
And that's our bad. Although to be fair, like you kind of want a joke to click. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8.
Yes.
Okay.
8 H's.
I think that's fair. Thank you everyone for listening. They're all hanging on to hear your sign off, by the way. No pressure,
so
because we called it out earlier. Skylar, is there anything else you want to say to everyone before we get out of here?
I'm going to say stay hot doggy.
I love it. We'll see you guys next time.